Greetings YouTube and welcome to the Blue Corner and to a Card Fight Vanguard discussion video. And in this one, I'm going to be talking about the Narukami G Guardian and Heal Trigger from Fighters Collection because they leaked that a couple days ago, and I've been waiting to see how this would turn out, given the hit or miss reception of the G Guardians leading up to this point. Looking at you, Shadow Paladin G Guardian, that one's not very good compared to say the Aqua Force or the Gear Chronicle one. Those are very good. This one I'd say it's a bit of an in-between. It's not ridiculous, but it's not terrible either. So we have Sky Guardian, Supreme Dragon, and P Dragon, and his Heal Trigger, Meditate Draco Kid. We'll talk about this first because he's pretty straightforward. Soul Blast 1, when he's discarded for MP Dragon and you have one or less face-up damage, you can countercharge 1. Very straightforward, but it's a very good card. We'll take any option that allows us to countercharge, and this one doesn't involve us having to go out of our way, like say running stands in some builds that can't really play stand triggers, hence why you don't see Dragon Dancer, Vian, and Erads or Vermilion. They just can't really do it. So he's a 4 of staple. Next, Sky Guardian, Supreme Dragon, and P Dragon. So this is the G Guardian that flips. Generation Break 1, choose a face down G Guardian from your G zone, flip a face up. That's the only cost. No Soul Blast, no Counter Blast. Fantastic, he's free. When this card is placed on Guardian Circle, you pay the cost. If you pay, your opponent chooses one of the rear guards, they retire bind it. Then you have 2 more rear guards than your opponent, they choose an additional rear guard and retire it. So there's a couple things to take away from this card. On a basic level, he doesn't seem that great because for giving up a G Guardian in your G zone, because that's one thing about these cards I do take issues that if you use them early game, you're effectively taking away an additional G guard. So you use this, you effectively only have 2 more G guards left as opposed to the full 4, which is why I look at these cards from a later, from like a third or fourth G guard on point, and if I'm using him as my last G guardian, I would have liked for him to gain additional shield value. That does stink, but aside from that, though, the other thing that people might be disappointed is that your opponent chooses what dies. Yes, that does suck, and you need to have more rear guards in your opponent to 2 more rear guards in your opponent for them to be able in order to force out the additional kill. So realistically, we have a full board of 5 and they have a full board of 5. They need to somehow be down to 3 cards in order to get the additional kill off. Or if you're down to if you're down to 2 cards, then they have to have like even less than that. Like I'm not really expecting to get the second skill off most of the time. Maybe if I was able to combo it with Bulwark Dragon beforehand so that your opponent attacks to the side, you Bulwark it, then you kill that, and then your opponent attacks with their Vanguard, and you use this to kill a rear guard, and then they have to kill another rear guard. In that instance, I could see you getting the full effect off, but since this guy isn't giving you additional shield value, using this on Vanguard attacks seems kind of weak in theory. However, there are ways to actually benefit from this. But before we get into that, there are some other things we need to point out, and that is this guy enables Thunderstrike in non-Thunderstrike decks. Because looking at the skill, you'll notice something. He is not Thunderstrike. He's not Thunderstrike 1, 3, 5, 9. He's none of that. He is just generic. So you can run this in your Vermilion deck, your Eradicator deck, your Brawler deck. You can run this in anything. And he is a guaranteed Thunderstrike 1. And since it's on your opponent's turn, even if they're playing something like Magi or Granblue, you're going to get something. So it's a nice little bone tossed towards those decks that can't enable Thunderstrike very easily, as it elites allows you to use Vitras as the game goes on, and it makes your Draconic Vanquish of Voltage some value, as every Naro deck at this point runs a couple of voltages, just so that they can tech in VMAX and nuke the board. So there is that, and as far as how this works with the Thunderstrike deck itself, well, obviously it sets up more binds for your Gigantic Voltage turns, and let's not forget that Draconic Vanquisher Voltage's Generation Break 2 gives them 3k whenever something dies by a card effect. And I think you're starting to see where this is going, because Vanquisher paired up with Chainbolt Dragoon is +5. This guy, triggering at least once, is going to give you a +5,000 boost. Now you're 16,000 after your opponent's rearguard attack, so now they can't multi-poke you, which is actually quite relevant versus decks like Granblue. And Gear Chronicle, and any other thing that likes to come at you with multiple weak attacks, as now they can't really touch you. Against decks that come at you with multiple big lane attacks like Brave is a different story, but at least with this buff, you'll be able to give yourself enough power. You'll be at least be able to 10k their attacks easier, which is also pretty relevant. Likewise, Gauntlet Buster Dragon also gains 3000 power whenever something dies by a card effect, and Eradicators have Machine Gun Eradicator Kanto, who Soul Blasts an Eradicator in order to buff himself and another unit by 2000 power as long as you have an Eradicator Vanguard. So now, for each time you kill something, as long as you control a Gauntlet Buster, you're effectively getting plus 5000 power per kill. So if you somehow get the full 2 pops off with this guy, Gauntlet Buster goes to plus 10,000 power. If you get the full 2 pops off with this guy, Vanquisher gets plus 6,000 power, plus the effect of Chainbolt Dragoon gives you plus 8,000 power, so you're now 19. And then there's the memes that involve Sweep Command Dragon. Now, a thing that does come up every now and then when you're playing the Sweep deck is his Limit Break. It's Counterblast 2, Soul Blast 2, when something dies by a card effect, it doesn't matter where, you can pay the cost, and if you do, you draw a card, choose one of your opponent's rear guards in the front row, kill it, and gain 5,000 power. So, the attack of the rear guard, you use this guy's effect. They kill and bind something. Sweep Command's Limit Break goes off. Counterblast 2, Soul Blast 2, kill the other thing in the front row. Now they can't attack with their rear guards for this turn. He's not once per turn, however. So, if you have, say, 4 Soul and 4 Counterblasts, you can, in fact, use this guy's effect to pop that other rear guard, and then use this effect another time to pop their original rear guard, just in case they're playing, I don't know, Lambros or what have you. You draw 2, become 10,000 power. You have no counterblasts, which is unfortunate, but you just Conquest Dragon them or Voltage them or something. Because the Sweep Command Dragon deck list I'm looking to build is actually a bit more bind focused. So you'll be able to Voltage or Conquest Dragon, and you've effectively disabled their front row for the turn. Fantastic. And then in addition to that, there's also a neat little tech card from Dragon Dancer Agatha, who is from original set 14 Brilliant Strike, and she's a generic card, so you can run it in any Narukami deck, and her effect is simple. When your opponent's rear guard is put into a drop zone by a card effect, and you have a Narukami Vanguard, Soul Blast 1, give any Narukami 3000 power. She's not once per turn, so you can pair this up with Dragonic Vanquisher to effectively get 6,000 power per pop. So for just popping 1 off of MP Dragon, you effectively become 17,000. If you manage to get the second pop off, fantastic. You're now plus 12,000 power. Eat a dick, Gear Chronicle and Grand Blue. You can't touch me now. At least not without throwing a ton of power on your boosters. And that should in theory be enough to block just about anything called off of Negro Songer, unless it's extremely late game. But I don't know. In that case, I probably would take the hit. We'll see. But the fact is, though, that seems pretty memesy that you'll be able to get that kind of power. And because she's generic, you can run her in just about any Narukami variant, Vermilion, Brawler. You can also throw this into Eradicators. She's not Eradicator name, but she will give you a bigger buff than Kanto. But at the same time, though, Kanto is an Erad name, which is kind of relevant for Descendant and Gauntlet Buster. Not so much Sweep Command Dragon. But then again, Sweep Command Dragon already eats enough soul for his own Limit Break, but you're also building up soul because of the superior ride. So, if anything, the Sweep Command Dragon deck actually gets a lot better as a result of this G Guardian simply being a thing. And for my money, I feel like after this set drops, Vanquisher was still going to be the best Narukami variant, but you can make the argument that Sweep Command Descendant is the second best variant because of just how all these pieces are falling into place. But yeah, the fact I've gone on this long with all these things about this card should pretty much imply that I think this card is fantastic. It's great. I want it. And it actually gives me hope that our G unit from the set's not going to be complete garbage. I don't know what they're going to do because they say that it's going to be a new trump card, but to be perfectly honest, we don't need another finisher. If you look over the Narukami G Zone, you'll find that we have quite a few number of finisher and now mid-game strides. We've got Conquest Dragon, Dragonic Vanquisher Voltage, Dragonic Kaiser Warning, Finish Blow Dragon, Dragonic Vanquisher VMAX, Eradicator, Descendant Zillion, even what's his name, Vishnu or whatever, that Noble G unit, that's also a potential finisher. We have enough G units that attempt to kill the opponent. We don't need any more of those. What we need is a card that sets the deck up, because our first stride options at this point are Zoras, Vanquisher Voltage, and Voltec Zapper Dragon if you have a good hand. That's it. We still need a generic first stride that flips and is not generation break. Like, just give us a clone of Divine Dragon Knight Mustafa, but Narukami themed. So, Counterblast 1. Choose a face down card in your G zone. Turn it face up. Your opponent chooses a card from their drop zone, binds it face up. Then for each copy of this card face up in your G zone, they retire bind something, and then this unit gets an additional skill at Thunderstrike 2, 4, I don't know. Like, after it attacks the Vanguard, countercharge 1, soul charge 1, something along those lines. I just want a generic unit that flips, enables Thunderstrike for non-Thunderstrike decks, and just gets you closer to hitting those good Thunderstrike numbers, because you want to be at Thunderstrike 2 after your first turn, so that you can immediately start reaping the benefits of 14, Martial Arts Dragon, and what have you. But that's for then. For now, though, this card is good. I have no qualms with it, and you should start digging through your common tins and see if you have any Kantos and Agathas lying around. I know I've got Kantos. Agatha is going to be harder to find because she's from so long ago, but uh, I don't see that being an issue. They should be easy to find online, if anything else. It's not like we're talking about the grade 3 Shadow Paladin Witch card that suddenly got bought out. I should have done a market watch on that too, but Agatha should be no problem. Like, if you bought set 14 looking for Tempest Bolt Dragons and Ignition Dragons, you should have these in spades. But anyway, that's all for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Until next time, this is Boostar899 checking out.